Well, I'm like most new Canadians, particularly of an Arab background, I've always been interested in politics. But was busy trying to build a career, looking after myself, looking after my family, and politics was always a side hobby of mine. But then one day I came to terms with the fact that if I really cared about politics, if I really cared about my well-being, if I really cared about the well-being of the community, the neighborhood I live in, I really need to do something about it. I really need to take an initiative and get involved. And that was really, I would tell you, that was a turning point, that just recognition on its own, and then to follow up on that recognition. So I started getting involved in community activities. I was a volunteer with several organizations, and I decided as well to get involved in politics. And I said to myself, if I wanted to see good politicians succeed in office, I need to do something about rolling up my sleeves and helping them out. Until one day an opportunity had come about, and I put my name forward, and I was privileged enough to get elected. Oh, I don't know if I will. I could reduce it to one, but let me try. I'd say my belief in equal human rights and justice for all. I think Canada can certainly play a big role. Canada is interested in seeing peace, stability, human rights, and democracy in the region. And Canada should and will be participatory in helping build capacity in the region, in bringing sides together, in sharing our own experience in governance. In fact, just 2 weeks ago we had a delegation here from Iraqi parliamentarians talk to us about how our federation is set up. As you know, Iraq now is turning into a federation, and they're looking into reforming their constitution. And we are able to share our own experience with them. Not to say that they should use our own model, but there are a lot of lessons that can be learned from our own model. I think we need to start first with education. I think a lot of Canadians, particularly of different backgrounds, who've come from countries where there is no culture of civic participation or political democracy, there's a lot that we can do as political leaders to reach out to all Canadians, demonstrate to them the openness of our system, our desire to engage them, to bring them into the fold, and certainly encourage them to be significant players in defining and frankly setting their own destiny, their own future. So education is number one. Second, we need to look at obstacles, whether real or perceived obstacles that people may have in their mind. We need to deal with them. We need to find a way to manage them, to mitigate them, to eradicate them. And thirdly, I think we need to point out to certain examples of many. I mean, this Parliament is quite impressive with the diversity of whether it's gender diversity, whether it's ethnic diversity. This year's Parliament is quite an example and a case study for the rest of us to learn from, and hopefully point to other Canadians. Well, Canadians of an Arab background, particularly newer Canadians, face similar challenges like most new immigrants or new Canadians, whether it's cultural integration or whether it's economic integration. So people are trying to get their foreign credentials accredited, trying to find jobs in their field, trying to identify schools and universities for their kids. So, all of these challenges, adjust to the weather, all of these challenges are typical of any new Canadian. There are certainly unique circumstances that surround Arab Canadians, given the countries they've come from, given the historical backgrounds they bring with them. There are, and I discussed one of them, which is my own, when I first came to Canada, while I've always been interested in politics, but it was a taboo for me to get involved in politics. So there are certain unique circumstances around the community that comes from Arab countries, but they're not that unique. They're similar, and I think that's another thing that we can do. We can learn from the experiences of others.